Yeah, so with the having Ayana and Jordan back from injury, how big is that for the team this year?
It's not even possible to put into words how great it is to have both of them back. I've gotten that question a lot over the last month, and I'm reminded every day in practice how much we miss them and how much they bring to our team. I'm really excited that they're both doing great. So right now they're super healthy. They're over a year out of surgery. They've continued to get better physically, mentally, every single day at practice, which I think sometimes is the hardest part when you go through those injuries. But I think the summer also was huge for them. You know, we went to Italy this summer. We were able to be together as a team. They were able to train. They didn't play a whole lot, neither of them, but it gave them 10 extra days to be with the team and to play basketball. So I think that also really helped them. But listen, having them back is a blessing. Can't wait to see what they both accomplish this year.
Injury-wise, how is it looking for the opener?
I mean, you're going to jinx me. I don't want to talk about that, no. I mean, compared to last year, it's great. And last year, we just really went through it, an adversity-ridden year. And right off the bat, you remember we had those 3 season-ending injuries. So we are not there, which is great. We have bumps and bruises, but nothing that a couple days here and there hasn't helped. So right now, knock on wood, we're fully healthy.
Yes, so bringing in 2 McDonald's All-Americans out of the transfer portal, what new dimension do you think that adds to your team as well?
Well, first of all, I think it shows that that players are seeing, people are seeing what we're doing here, and that part makes me very happy. I think our kids currently on the team did a great job of recruiting, helping us recruit them, and they saw that we're special. What they're going to be able to accomplish remains to be seen. I can tell you that they've added a new energy to what we're doing. They both came from successful programs. They were both very successful high school players. So they bring a different level of experience to this team and a winning edge that I think we really needed. So I look forward to seeing what Monday looks like for both of them. So far, though, it's been integral to our success and continuation of getting better, having them on the court.
Bringing players back like Bella, Jada, and then obviously getting Jordan back and Ayana, and then bringing in Jo too. How is having that much ball handling on the roster and that many guards how are you gonna kind of use all those players?
I will use them hopefully very well. I think it's nice just to look on the bench and see useful players. I think what's exciting about this year's team is that we do have a bunch of versatility. And we have some depth. And so the way that we want to play, hopefully we'll be able to continue playing that like that as long as we stay healthy. We get to press a little bit more. We have some more pieces that we can move around the floor. We have some more threats from the perimeter that will really be helpful. And we have more playmakers. So that's never a bad thing. But again, I think there's still a part of our team that needs to play more games for us to be really comfortable in the roles and expectations for each player and what they bring to the table. But so far, we haven't had any issues for playmaking and getting people subs when they get tired and making sure that we can play hard for the extenuation of a game.
Last year size was a real problem. Bringing in people like Justine or Aga, Camille, all those people, do you think that will be maybe a little bit better this year than it was?
I hope so. I think size was part of the problem. I think also physicality. So I'm hoping that our players that do have size can get a little better in terms of being physical without fouling or being physical at all. And I think sometimes, especially for younger players, that's a big transition from high school to college, is learning how physical this game is, especially in the SEC conference. So we have a ways to go there, but we do have a lot more size, and that's the first step.
And how do you see the three-point shooting being this year compared to last year?
Well, the first practice of the summer, actually I think we watched him play pickup. And I mean, maybe like 5 seconds into the shot clock, there was a 3 bombed from half court, maybe 10 possessions in a row. And my staff was like, oh, we're going to lead the country in 3-point field goal attempts. I said, well, if we do, we better lead them in makes too. I would love a balance. So I think we do have several more threats. I'm hopeful that our percentage is high, that we're able to be a threat from the perimeter consistently. But I also know that Sasha Washington has gotten a lot better. and that there needs to be a balance of paint touches
Yeah.
and perimeter shots.
Where is it that you think that Sasha has improved the most?
Mentality, definitely her mentality. She goes harder for longer stretches. Her work ethic is consistent. If I had to sum it up, I'd say she's grown up. She's grown up. Last year was really difficult, and she went through long stretches of extreme adversity for her. And that's made her much better because she's responded to it super well. And that's all her. She did that work. She did that work this summer. I can't wait to see what the season holds for her.
Yeah, and then, last year there were maybe not too many true wings on the roster. Who do you maybe see playing there this year who can defend it at that position?
That's the key. Who can defend at that position? A lot of my players love to play on the wing and shoot threes, like we talked about earlier. I think there's a lot of players that can. I mean, really the only one that isn't going to is Sasha. Everybody else on the roster can play on the perimeter. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Last year, obviously, was kind of an all-hands-on-deck situation. Everybody on the roster was getting plenty of time. This year, players were fighting for minutes. How has that competition helped you guys in practice as players kind of fight together?
It's been great. And I think, again, it remains to be seen because we've only played a couple of close scrimmages. And so, to me, and I tell them all the time, where you earn your playing time and where we figure out how we're going to win games and what our process looks like to becoming a great team and program is in practice. And the cool thing about having so many players is that we can actually practice this year, and our players can get better and they can compete. So not only are we figuring out what our rotations look like, how we can set ourselves up to be victorious at the end of games, but we're also constantly challenging each other. So at the end of the day, no matter what, they're getting better. And that's the great part about having the team and the numbers that we do right now.
Jordan and Ayanna obviously spent a lot of time on rehab last year, but also trying to grow their game and come back better than before. What have you seen most from them as they have made their way back and how they've improved themselves?
When you go through something like they went through, and I know well what that looks like, and it's not fun. But if you can approach it the right way, then it makes you so much better. So they still have a ways to go. I think, coming back on the court when you're still trying to feel like yourself, people don't talk about that a lot. They talk about the rehab, the fact that you have to sit out. But when you get back out on the court, that's also difficult. And because they've approached their rehab, and this coming year with the mentality that they have, they look great. They do. They look great. And I think there's a hunger inside of them now that Jordan always had it, but she also, this is her senior, sixth year. And she understands that, this is the end of the road for her. And I think now Ayanna understands what it's like not to have something that you love, not to be able to do it every single day. There's a lot of different ways you can respond to that. They both responded in a way that made them a lot better and will make us a lot better.
Yeah. What was the process like of, getting Justine from Tennessee, and what do you think she's going to bring from your team for your team?
It wasn't any different than any other. I think, transfer portal process, it goes quickly. Luckily, we had known her and her family before. She had been recruited by a few members of my staff before, so that was easy. That made the decision a lot easier culturally. And then what she's going to bring, I think we talked a little bit about that before, but she's super versatile. She's a winner. She has a winning mentality. She brings size, and she's a three-point shooting threat. So there's a lot of things that she can do that didn't exist on our team before she got here. Now our job as her coaches is to help her, hone those skills, to give her some more tools in her toolbox for when she gets out on the court and prepare her to play, hopefully, very important minutes in games, and because she didn't do that last year at the school she was at before. So I think it's important that we prepare her the best way we can, but she shows up every day ready to do that. So it's great.
Big freshman class coming in this year. What have you seen from them and their growth throughout the summer and into the preseason?
When you have a class like we had, 5 freshmen and 2 transfer, you need that summer. It couldn't have been a better year to go to Italy. I mean, it's like, it's like going from 1 kid to 5, I'm guessing, and I only have 1, and she's a lot. So they have really embraced what we're trying to do here. But the transition is difficult. and it's difficult in different ways for each kid. So I think one of the great things is that we've seen growth from all of them. So some of them are a little quicker than others, and we've seen that on the court and off, but they're great kids. They want to be here, they want to win, and they add a lot of personality to our team, which has been fun. So even though, we have like 7 brand new babies, they're fun. They're a fun group, and they love being here. They brought a level of energy to our team that's kind of infused us, renewed us. I'm just really excited for this season. I love coming to practice every day.
Coach, one more question. You open up the season on Monday. You host Kennesaw State at 11 a.m.
Yes.
How excited are you to kick off Year 3 with the Commodores and more specifically open up the season here at home on Education Day?
Yes. Well, I think I'm in like over 20 years of coaching, and I'm really excited for this year because I think the last 2 years have been foundational building part of what we're trying to do here. And some of that you're seeing now in the recruits that we brought on campus, the development of some of the players that have stayed here and invested in us like we've invested in them. I'm really excited to start at home because I want our fans to see how hard we've been working for them, how hard we've been working for Vanderbilt, how hard we've been working for this program. And I want them to see how much we're going to grow every single day. So, one of the hallmarks I hope that we've shown them so far is that our teams will fight. The teams that play for me here at Vanderbilt are going to fight. And I'm excited to show them that we are still that team with a lot more weapons.